Well, good morning to everyone. Welcome to Santa's Secret Warehouse. My name is Peter Beresford. I'm the president of the Santa Claus Parade, member of the board of directors, all of whom I might say are volunteers, and many of the directors are actually here today, so we all welcome you to Santa's Secret Warehouse and our media day. Our news is not a surprise, but it's certainly important. Santa Claus is coming to town. Now, Santa Claus is coming to town on Sunday, November the 20th this year. And of course, he is very excited to come to town to host a parade, and you see the magic around you that is part of the Santa Claus Parade. The parade, as I say, is held on Sunday the 20th. It starts at 12:30 at Bloor and Christie. The parade route is the same route that we've had in the past. We travel along, you see the map in front of me that helps as I explained. We travel eastbound on Bloor, from Bloor and Christie all the way across to University Avenue. We go south on University Avenue to Wellington. We then turn east on Wellington. Now, of course, that street is closed. It's a one-way street going the other way, but we close it and we go east on Wellington to join Front Street and across Front Street to the St. Lawrence Market, where the parade concludes. It's 6.5 kilometers. Now, of course, the street has 2 sidewalks on either side, so it's 13 kilometers of sidewalks, 13 kilometers of front row seats for people to enjoy themselves. Everyone is invited, and the tickets are free. So we encourage everyone on Sunday, November the 20th, come on out and enjoy the Santa Claus Parade. You know, we're particularly proud this year that it's the 112th version of the Santa Claus Parade. It's the longest running children's parade in North America. You know, equally significant, and I'm very proud of the fact that this is the largest entertainment event that's held in Canada every year. You think of the Rogers Centre when the Blue Jays are playing, and there's maybe 50,000 seats, or the Air Canada Centre with 20,000 seats. We entertain almost 1 million people live every year on those 13 kilometers of sidewalk. The streets of Toronto serve as our stage for us to entertain our audience. And equally important, we're proud of the fact that it's run by volunteers. Volunteers who are all local volunteers living in the community and bringing the parade to you. You know, I know that Mayor Tory is particularly proud of that fact as well. Earlier this week, I talked to him to confirm his attendance, and he said to me, the Santa Claus Parade is a tradition that I would not miss. It's in my calendar for sure. He also said to me, like most in the audience, I see the parade as the official start of the Christmas season. And I reminded him, which I have in the past, that research that we have done stated that 90% of Ontarians believe that our Santa Claus Parade is the official start of the Christmas season. So we're very excited about our show, and we're very excited that Santa is coming to town. Now, when I say we're excited, of course, our parade is for children, and it wouldn't be fun here today if I didn't introduce a few children for you to meet. Children who will be in our show, children who are part of today's fashion show. So I'm going to introduce them, but you're the audience, and you have to make sure these young kids who got to miss school today are all greeted properly. They're going to sit right here across the stage, but they're going to come out one at a time. They're all dressed in the costumes that they will wear for parade day. So I know my helpers behind me are ready. Number 1, Alec Hunter. Alec, if you'll come out. Alec is on the Spin Master float, and he's a police officer. Now please, a round of applause. Good job, Alec. I met Sophia, Alex's sister, earlier. Sophia Hunter is here, Spin Master Float Again. She's an Arctic rescuer. Next on our list from the sponsor is Aviva. It's Alexander Blazana. And Alexander is in a costume called Jack. And here is Alexander. Alexander in a Jack costume. Nazuki Nagai is here with a Toys R Us costume for that float. He's a worker elf. Domenico Zagol is here. He's on the HFI 98.1 float as a worker elf. Sarah Devereaux is here, and Sarah is on the Metro Grocery Stores float. She's a kitchen elf. Eva Thompson Lenardelli is here. She's on the Fortress float, and she's a piglet. Imogen Hansen is here on the Sears float. Of course, you'd recognize she's a raccoon. And finally, our ninth little child to join us is Stephanie Chiramai, and she is on the Santa float as a North Pole princess. Now, to all of our audience, how much fun is that to not have to go to school, to come to Santa's Secret Warehouse? All of the children had a fun time earlier, looking and enjoying and having fun. Let's just give them one more round of applause. We have three other speakers that I'm going to enjoy introducing to you in the next few minutes. The first one is Mike Bartlett. Mike is Senior Director of Live Events at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. He's the Executive Director of the Maple Leaf Sports Foundation, the MLSE Foundation. Mike is Executive Vice President of the Santa Claus Parade, a member of the executive team. MLSE are huge partners to us. They're community partners who have helped sponsoring floats, but more importantly, providing so much support behind the scenes to make this parade possible. Mike Bartlett is here to join us right now. Please join me in welcoming Mike.
Thank you, Peter. The way Peter describes my title sometimes makes it sound like I'm armed with 4 or 5 business cards, but certainly proud to represent Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment here as part of this fantastic Toronto institution, the Santa Claus Parade. You know, we have a long history of being active in the community, but this Santa Claus Parade itself is something, since we got involved 3 years ago, that has just been absolutely astonishing to see the volunteer effort, the community effort, and the corporate effort and support that goes behind bringing this tradition to town for the last 112 years. The only thing I'd say more exciting than being in our buildings, Air Canada Centre, BMO Field, Ricoh Coliseum, to cheer on our teams and be part of our live events and concerts, is to be on the street during Parade Sunday and be part of 1 million individuals cheering on Santa as he comes down the street. You know, we have, like I said, a long history in being a city builder, whether it be through our MLSE Foundation, investing in rinks, courts, and pitches, our sport development programs, investing in the grassroots growth of hockey, basketball, and soccer, our player programs and alumni programs, being active in the communities through such great partnerships such as Sick Kids. This is an opportunity for us to be a city builder for a Toronto institution, a landmark, and something that, quite frankly, is one of the things that we've been cheering for as Torontonians for a few years longer than we've been cheering for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs celebrating their 100th anniversary, Toronto Santa Claus Parade celebrating its 112. So it's certainly an institution that we're proud to be a part of, and we look forward to rallying the business community every year, our fans and our partners for being a part of it as well. Let's talk about the 3 floats that we've invested in this year. TFC, they're coming into a fantastic playoff run. Big game this Sunday night as well in New York. could propel them on to the next round. We've got a great Toronto FC float celebrating the investment that we've made in that venue as well, showcasing the new venue, the new roof that we have at BMO Field. The Raps Eastern Conference finalist, again, nothing rallies a city like a well-performing sports team. We got to ride that wave last April. We'll continue to ride that wave this season. The Raps are off to a great start, and we are celebrating the Toronto Raptors again this year with a float. And as I mentioned, the Toronto Maple Leafs celebrating their 100th anniversary. The float right behind you shows certainly someone that we're very proud to call a friend, Johnny Bauer, stopping a shot from Carlton the Bear with Maple Leaf Gardens as the backdrop, another iconic institution in the city of Toronto. So we're certainly proud to be a part of this event. We look forward to being part of it for many years to come. And this year too, I also want to give a plug. The staff at MLSE, the volunteers that have rallied around this initiative, we're also helping organize the Holly Jolly Fun Run that takes place right from the start line of the parade. At 11:45, you get to run down the parade route. There are literally 1 million people cheering you on through the race. That kind of crowd doesn't follow the Boston Marathon. That kind of crowd is there for you on race day, though, at the Holly Jolly Fun Run. Registration closes on November 15th. We've already got 800 registrants. We have a goal of reaching 1,000. So MLSE is going to do one last incentive push that we decided this morning. Follow TO Santa or follow MLSE Live on the social media channels, and next week you'll be updated. There's a new finish line incentives to get that last 200 runners. One of those last 200 runners' names will be drawn to win 2 tickets to any concert at Air Canada Centre this year, and we've got a full slate of amazing concerts coming. So please follow those 2 social media channels, enter for your chance to race and win, and we can't wait to be there with you on race day. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Ross Morton. Ross is a member of the board of directors. Ross serves as executive vice president of the organization and our chief operating officer, and he has news that he wants to tell you. Ross.
One of the saddest things is when I have to go home today and tell my wife I had more pictures of my feet than my face. I'd like to basically announce to all of you that this year the Santa Claus Parade will be having the Red Nose Raffle. So in addition to selling red noses by the Air Cadets, we'll be having a raffle kindly supported by Canadian Tire, Sears, and VTech. We've got almost 100 prizes to give away. They range from gift certificates for $2,500 down to VTech gifts. So that's a great thing. It's it's 3 for $10. It will help support what you see around you to keep it going. We've often been asked by people along the streets, what can we do to help? Well, this year, buy some raffle tickets. You could get a reward, but you can also get the biggest reward, and that is keeping the parade going. Next, I'd like to introduce the Celebrity Clowns. Celebrity Clowns have been around since 1983, when Norman Jewison and Ron Barbaro decided there has to be a home for the generous senior executives from Toronto who wanted to give back to the city. They wanted to do it anonymously, so they came up with the Celebrity Clowns. They're all anonymous. Basically, they pay $1,200 to be a celebrity clown. Okay, we give them a costume, we give them makeup, and their job, sole job, is to make kids happy. As Ron once said, basically it's miles of smiles. So I'd like to introduce 5 of this year's 101 celebrity clowns. We have Dr. Ted, an enormous story of why he's here, why he's giving back to the city. Karen, a nurse who basically does wonders in the nursing field, she's here. Ben Chung, an entrepreneur and business owner, he's been giving back for well over 10 years, and in spite of bad knees, he makes the parade. He says he'll do it as long as he can put one foot in front of the other. We also have Jennifer Barr, who basically is in the money field with a major bank in Toronto. She's here, and they're all hiding back there. And lastly is a senior executive I've known for about 30 years in the insurance business, and this is the best he's ever looked in his life. So those clowns will start the parade. They warm up the crowd. They're a tradition. They, along with all the other clowns who do the parade, make kids happy, make families happy. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the volunteers, and there's 3,000 volunteers who make the parade work. From those who drive the trucks and pull the floats, from those who look after the kids, from the marshals who walk the parade and make sure everybody stays orderly. It's a great group of people, from those that come in here after work to help paint some of the floats, to do some of the paper mache work. It's 3,000 people, not asking for a penny. And I'd like a round of applause.